Alright, so the banners for the second part of 3.5 are out. So we have Shenhe, Mika, Diona, Sucrose, and we also have Ayaka. So we have 3 Cryo characters on a banner in Sumeru in the Dendro meta. Very interesting, very interesting. 3 Cryo characters. Mika is the new Cryo character, allegedly a support character, so kind of like Shenhe. Shenhe is a Cryo support. She's very useful in Cryo teams, and obviously Ayaka is a very good Cryo DPS. So what do we think of these banners? First of all, Shenhe hasn't been around for over a year now. The first time she's released was just a year ago, and when she released she was considered quite niche and quite redundant because people didn't want to pull for a support 5-star character. Now this is before Yelan came out, and this is before people noticed that actually 5-star support characters are quite useful and quite good. And even though they said Shenhe is niche, the niche she fills is really good, and she really boosts any Cryo DPS character. It's safe to say that if you are running a Cryo team, Freeze team, Melt team, any of those, Shenhe will be your best bet, and she will definitely support your Ayaka or even your Ganyu or any Cryo character you're trying to build. Now Mika is supposedly a support character as well, a Cryo support. Character wise and personality wise, some people might not like him as much, but he is here as the new 4-star as well. Diona is also a Cryo character. She's obviously an old, true and tested character who's really good at healing and shielding and general Cryo support. If you do have Zhongli, however, a lot of people have kind of benched Diona for Zhongli. She's a bit of a mix of healing and shielding, and her shield isn't as strong as other characters, but she's still out there as a pretty good support if you are missing some of those other characters. Now Sucrose, of course, is amazing. Sucrose is what people use when they don't have Kazuha, essentially, and she's really good at what she does, the swirls, the elemental reactions. If you just put the Viridescent set on her, she will shred. You can put a lot of elemental mastery on her, and of course everyone wants Sucrose C6, as many constellations as you can get. She will share that elemental mastery with your other characters. So the 4-stars are pretty good. Sucrose is probably the best 4-star character on this banner, followed by either Mika or Diona. And Shenhe is a really good 5-star support character for your Cryo teams. Now, essentially Ayaka is probably the best Cryo DPS. She's up there with Ganyu. Some people say Ganyu is better, some people say Ayaka is better. I do have both, however my Ganyu isn't as built as my Ayaka, so my Ayaka personally does more damage, but that's just because my Ganyu doesn't have all the artifacts built yet. In terms of Mika and Diona and Sucrose, they could work with Ayaka if you really go for it, but not really. Ayaka wants a more expensive team of 5-star characters. A lot of people run Shenhe with Ayaka, a lot of people run Kokomi, they run other Cryo and Hydro characters for a Freeze team, maybe a Melt team with some Pyro characters, but not really these 3 supports. Ayaka is a very high investment character. She needs a lot of investment into her artifacts. She would like her weapon, although there is a 4-star weapon you can craft, that's okay. It doesn't compare to the 5-star weapon. She's a main damage dealer, she needs a lot of investments, and her teams are quite expensive, but if you do have those other characters, she can pump out a lot of damage and she's really good. Now, how do these 2 banners fit into the current meta? Because we are in Dendro, we are in Sumeru, we are using a lot of Dendro and Hydro and Pyro characters in conjunction with one another. A lot of people are running Electro characters with Dendro. Cryo doesn't react with Dendro, and neither does Anemo, unfortunately for Sucrose. So these characters don't really fit into the current meta of Genshin. People are running Hyper Bloom, there is Quicken, Aggravate, even Burgeon if you really want to, although not really. So these Cryo characters don't really fit in with, say, Nahida or maybe Baiju when he's around the corner with Kave. Are these going to work with Baiju and Kave? Do they work with Alhaitham or Kole? Not really, not really. If you do need Sucrose, I would pick her up definitely. If you don't have Sucrose or Kazuha, she's really good in other teams. Diona can be a nice support. And again, Cryo DPS and then Shenhe Cryo support doesn't really fit into the current meta. However, you can still make Cryo teams. They are good. They do a lot of damage. So if you are into that, of course go for it. But if you are building your Dendro characters, your Hydro, some Pyro in there with Electro, yeah, these don't really react that well with those teams. Now moving on to the weapon banner. So these typically suck. Unfortunately here it is kind of a similar situation. So Mist Splitter is probably what you want out of all of these. It is one of the best weapons in the game and fits really well on Ayaka. You can also put it on, say, Ayato or Keqing, although it is Ayaka's signature weapon. Mist Splitter is very good. It can be used on damage characters especially. It's just such a powerful weapon and people go for this one. The Calamity Queller is Shenhe's signature weapon, obviously, and it doesn't fit that well on other characters. It fits really well on Shenhe, obviously, with the high attack stat. Although it's not really something you kind of go for. If you really want to, sure, but Shenhe does have really good 4-star options, and because she has 4-star options, this isn't really what you kind of go for and really need. It does fit her really well, but again, if you are pulling for a support 5-star, you're probably wanting to go for a weapon for your DPS. So out of the two, I think Mist Splitter is what you should go for first, just to do more damage with the Ayaka, and then Calamity Queller. If you do have Mist Splitter, if you have all these characters and all these weapons, sure, go for it. But I wouldn't personally recommend going for the Calamity Queller because you can craft prototyped Star Glitter. You can also craft the Catch. Both of those are really good on Shenhe as 4-star alternatives. And for Ayaka, you can craft Anama Kagaguchi. I'm butchering that name, but it's a craftable weapon in Inazuma. Gives a lot of attack to Ayaka. Ayaka does want the signature weapon more than Shenhe wants her signature weapon, let's put it that way. In terms of the 4-star weapons, it's not looking the best, I'll be honest. Probably the main one here that you would like is the Sacrificial Sword. So my Shinchu has the Sacrificial Sword, but it's only R1, so I would probably pull on this if I wanted to get more copies of the Sac Sword. The Favonius bow is nice, the Favonius lance is nice as well, but they're not the best, right? Although the Favonius lance can be quite good on a lot of characters. It does provide a lot of energy recharge and some attack. It's not too bad. Wine and Song, it's not a great book, unfortunately. It's really not. The effect on it reduces your stamina consumption when sprinting, something along those lines, but it doesn't really fit into any character too well. And the bell is just a meme, unfortunately. I've seen some people try it on Noelle, say it's good. To that I say, well, it may be, but you're still using Noelle, unfortunately, and not even with probably the best weapons you could have. So anyway, yeah, it's not great. Out of these, probably go for the Sacrificial Sword and the lance here if you can. Obviously it's not up to you, it's whatever you get, but these are probably the best ones to get. But yeah, overall, not a great weapon banner. You know, they do know that everyone wants the Mist Splitter, so they will just chuck some kind of mid 4 stars, and the Calamity Queller is nice but not necessary. So overall, probably a skip unless you really want the Mist Splitter. So I personally will be pulling for Shenhe. When she first came out, I just started playing, so I didn't really have the wishes or the knowledge to kind of pull on her. But it's been a year and I'm ready. I have Ayaka already, so I'm not going to be pulling Ayaka. I also have Ganyu and some other Cryo characters. I have my Diona is C6, my Sucrose is C4, so I need Sucrose constellations. I need 2 Sucrose constellations. Obviously, I don't have Mika, but if he comes by, drops a couple of constellations for him, maybe he'll be all right. I don't really look at leaks, so I'm not sure if he's going to be good or not, but even if I do get Mika, the plan is to get Shenhe and support my Ayaka, basically, and I'm going to be making my Cryo team. Now, I did say that it doesn't really fit into the meta right now. I already have an Ahida team, so I don't really need to kind of incorporate my Cryo into that team. This will be a separate Cryo team. I'm thinking of doing a freeze comp, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to be doing this banner just to get Shenhe, and as soon as I get Shenhe, I'm not going to be kind of going too far into it than that. In terms of the weapon banner, I might do a couple of pulls to try and snipe the sacrificial sword, although that's probably a terrible idea. Or not. I'll see what happens. I need to check my pity on it as well. The Mist Splitter would be nice, but I'm not sure about it, to be fair. It depends if Shenhe comes early, because if she comes early and if I win the 50-50, I'll have a lot of gems, I'll have a lot of fates left to maybe go for the weapon banner, if I feel like it. We'll see what Baiju brings as well, because after this banner, in about a month, Baiju will release, and obviously he's the new hype character. Everyone's been waiting for him for a while now, so we'll see what happens with that, and Cave as well, soon after. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I've helped you kind of decide on what to do here. I'm kind of deciding myself, but Shenhe, I think, definitely will be going for her. Mika could be good, we'll see. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.